I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend their unity and uphold their honor and glory. So help me God. Almighty God, creator, ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our counsels and actions, so that I may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria. Honorable Wase, please, 1 minute. Honorable colleagues, I've examined and approved the votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 11 December 2024. Honorable colleagues, we have some announcements to make. But before then, may I call on the leader of the House to move that we suspend our relevant rules to admit one of our colleagues from the Senate who is here to observe our proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished colleagues, I hereby move that we suspend our relevant rules to allow an entry of a visitor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The leader of the House, I'm sure you will be gracious enough to second one of our colleagues from the Senate. The White House will do that for us, right?
Mr. Speaker, there is no seconder to this motion, sir.
Oh, really? You don't want any visitor?
No, sir.
To come and see what we are doing?
Not today. We have a serious business today.
If you say no, I can ask Honorable Idris Wase to second this motion.
I doubt
I'm sure
if
he
you
will
will.
do it gladly.
Mr. Speaker, sir, respected colleagues, honored that to take this job I'm happy that Mr. Speaker has recognized me to do the job. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, with all pleasure, I rise to second the motion. My name is Ahmed Idris, representing Federal Constituency, Plateau State. I rise to second the motion as so moved by the Deputy Leader of the House. As so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it emphatically. Honorable Kumo, can you please bring in our visitor from the Senate? Honorable colleagues, it's my pleasure to announce the presence of students of University of Nigeria, the Senate of the Students' Union Government of University of Nigeria, Nsukka, who are here with us. Honorable colleagues, can we appreciate their presence here? You are welcome. You may sit down, please. We have an announcement coming from our dear brother, Honorable Ayodeji Alao Akala, and his announcement reads as follows. This is to announce that a young and prominent Nigerian in the person of Sheyi Tinubu has donated an office building to the young parliamentarians outside the National Assembly. This remarkable gesture reflects a commitment to the development of youth leadership and the promotion of democratic values. The donated building will serve as a hub for the forum's activities, fostering collaboration, innovation, and empowerment among young leaders. We commend this exemplary act of philanthropy, which will undoubtedly contribute to the growth and success of the young parliamentarians in Nigeria. This donation marks a significant milestone in our collective effort to build a stronger, more inclusive future for the next generation of leaders. I want to use this medium to appreciate him for a very generous contribution. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. And may God bless him through for what he has done to you and to humanity. Honorable colleagues, the next announcement is coming from the Office of the Chief of Staff, and this is in respect of notification of birthdays for 5 of our members. Today is the birthday of 5 members of this very, very important institution. And those people are Honorable Raji Tasir Olawale, member representing Ipe Federal Constituency of Lagos State. It is also the birthday of Honorable Akiba Base Epenyong, member representing Calabar Municipal and Odukpani Federal Constituency of Cross River State. It's the birthday of Honorable Hassan Mohammed Danjuma, representing Dawakin Kudru Warawa Federal Constituency of Kano State. It's also the birthday of Honorable Sheikh Mohammed Bello, member representing Fage Federal Constituency of Kano State. It's also the birthday of Honorable Ahmed Sani Mohammed, member representing Bakura Maradun Federal Constituency of Zamfara State. The members, the celebrant here with us today, please, if you are there, can you rise up for recognition? Happy birthday to you, my dear brother, on behalf of the House. Wish you more success. Thank you. And members, please, you are free to join him after plenary for his birthday celebration. I will also personally be there. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, the clerk of the House has just informed me of the appointment of the deputy clerk admin to the House of Representatives. And the person so lucky to be appointed is Vivian Noyelumu in Germanzy. She was, until this appointment, the Director of Policy and Programs Department under the Legislative Budget and Planning Directorate. She was also a former clerk and head of administration of the Senate Committee on Defense, head Legislative Advisory Division of the Legislative Scrutiny and Research Department of the Senate, and for over 13 years was a clerk and head of administration, Senate Committee on Environment and Ecology. Prior to that, she was also clerk and head of administration of Senate on Science and Technology of the Senate between 1999 and 2003. She was appointed personal assistant in charge of administration to the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture in the Federal Republic of Nigeria between 1996 and 1998. And between 1994 and 1995, she served as Under-Secretary to the National Constitutional Conference, which drafted the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria. She served in the Defense Committee while doubling as a research officer to the Constitutional Conference. She joined the Nigerian Civil Service in 1992. She also served as the president of the Climate Change Mitigation Initiative for Sustainable Development. She holds a certificate of fellowship, membership of the Institute of Budget Management and Administration. Also, she holds a certificate of life membership of the Institute of Budget Management and Administration. Mrs. Vivian, is she here with us? Congratulations on your appointments. Wish you good luck. Honorable colleagues, on a side note, honorable colleagues, we have a message from Honorable Uchenna Harris Okonkwo. His message reads as follows. Announcement of the one-year memorial of Senator Clement Annie Okonkwo and the official launch of the Annie Okonkwo Foundation. He said, I'm honored to inform this esteemed House of the upcoming one-year memorial of Senator Clement Annie Okonkwo, NIPOM, and the official launch of the Annie Okonkwo Foundation, scheduled for Saturday, December 16, 2024. This event will be preceded by a Catholic Mass at the Catholic Church of the Assumption, 123 Awolowo Road, Falomo, Ikoyi, Lagos at 2 p.m. prompt, and followed by the memorial and launch at the Harbour Point, 4 Wilmot Point Road, Victoria Island, Lagos at 4 p.m. The Annie Okonkwo Foundation was established to honor the legacy of a remarkable legislator and philanthropist, focusing on advancing education, promoting health, human capital development. I respectfully invite the Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members of this House to attend this momentous occasion. Furthermore, I urge the House to support the Foundation's mission of fostering development and uplifting lives across Nigeria. Together, we can ensure that Senator Clement Annie Okonkwo's legacy of service and compassion continues to inspire meaningful change. Let us join hands to sustain the legacy of a man whose life embodied the highest ideals of public service and philanthropy. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you for your attention and anticipated support. Signed, Honorable Uchenna Okonkwo. Again, on a sad note, honorable colleagues, I would like to inform you that Honorable Obed Paul Shehu, our member representing Kaltungo Shogun Federal Constituency of Gombe State, lost his father yesterday. His message reads as follows. This is to announce the passing away of Reverend Dr. Paul Shehu, the father of Honorable Dr. Obe Shehu, member representing Kaltungo, Shangon Federal Constituency, Gombe State. He died on Wednesday, 10th December 2024 at the ripe age of 96 years old. He was a great patriot, a faithful servant of God, a retired civil servant, and village head Dakachi of Kalarin community of Kaltungo, Gombe State. The burial is slated for Tuesday, 17 December 2024, venue Kaltungo, Gombe State, time 10 a.m. May his soul rest in peace. Honorable colleagues, shall we rise for a minute silence in honor of this patriotic Nigeria? May his soul rest in peace. Honorable colleagues, the next announcement is coming from Right Honorable Amobi Godwin Oga. And his announcement reads as follows. On behalf of my family, late Wilson Ahame Fula Oga, I sadly announce the passing unto the glory of my dear beloved mother, Izine Paulina Wilson Ahame Fula Oga JP, whose sad event occurred in the early hours of Friday, 31st May 2024 at the age of 80. In accordance with her wish, her remains was laid to rest at my hometown in Unoaku, Uturu, in Isua Quattro local government area of Abia State on Saturday, 1st June 2024. As a result of the above, I'm hereby inviting His Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, leadership of the House, and all honorable colleagues and staff of the House of Representatives to the final burial rites of my beloved mother taking place on Sunday, 29 December 2024, at my family home in Onoaku, Asian Kingdom, in Uturu, Isua Koto local government area of Abia State. May her gentle soul rest in perfect peace. We already said our prayers that time. I think it was in the month of May, so we don't need to repeat it again. This is just for information of those members who may want to attend the burial. Now, the last but not the least. Minority Leader, I need your attention, please. No, just your attention, please. Honorable George, are you okay? Honorable colleagues, I have a letter coming from our dear brother, Honorable Ajang Alfred Ilya, member representing Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency of Plateau State. Before I read this letter, honorable colleagues, please permit me to recognize our legendary brother, a very patriotic Nigerian, the former governor of Plateau State, former Minister of Information, and a current senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Honorable distinguished Lalon, who is here as a friend of the House again for the second time to come and appreciate us on this very historic day. Your Excellency, you are most welcome. And we hope this kind of visit will continue after the Christmas break. We would want to see you for a final round in January to deliver, so that Plateau will become completely green. Absolutely. As the DG that actually produced our president, the accolades and the achievements are too many to mention. Thank you, distinguished Senator. You are most welcome. Now to the letter from Honorable Ajang Alfred Ilya is later read, or the subject matter is defection from the Labour Party to the All Progressive Congress, APC. His letter reads, I hope this letter finds you in good health and high spirits. I write to formally inform you of my decision to defect from the Labour Party to the All Progressive Congress, APC, effective immediately. This decision was due to the crisis of leadership in the Labour Party, and though deeply personal, is one that I believe is in the best interest of my constituents and the broader objectives of national development. There are several key reasons behind my decision to make this significant political shift. One, alignment with national development agenda. Over time, I've closely observed the policies and direction of the APC, particularly under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. Order, please. Honorable colleagues, please can you allow us to finish reading his letter? The celebration can follow later, please. The APC's commitment Sorry, Honorable Aswaju Ahmed Tinubu, point of correction, please. Alignment with national development. Over time, I've closely observed the mistake, please, honorable colleagues, is from him, not from me. I read what is in his letter. So please, your letter, you need to correct it. You put Muhammadu Buhari instead of Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So please, correct it. Particularly under the President Aswaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable colleagues,
APC.
honorable colleagues, his letter is correct. His letter is correct. Let me read the paragraph again.
Point of order.
What he said is alignment with the national development agenda. Over time, I've closely observed the policies and direction of the APC, particularly under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari and now under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The APC's commitment to infrastructural development, economic growth, and national unity resonates deeply with my vision for Plateau State and the country at large. I believe that by joining the ruling party, I will be better positioned to contribute to the realization of these developmental goals and bring much needed support to my constituents. Effective representation for my constituents as a representative of the Jos South and Jos East Federal Constituency, my primary responsibility is to ensure welfare and development of my people. In recent times, I have found it increasingly difficult to align with the Labour Party's approach to national issues, especially given its limited influence in the current government structure. I believe that joining the APC will provide me with the greater opportunities to secure federal support for projects that are crucial to the people of Plateau State, including improved healthcare, education, infrastructure, and security. Again, building bridges for a greater Plateau and Nigeria. By making this transition, I aim to play a more active role in fostering unity and collaboration across party lines. I believe that the APC's inclusive approach to governance will create opportunities for bridging divides and fostering greater cooperation in the pursuit of the common good. My decision is not based on personal gain, but on the desire to contribute to the national cause while advancing the needs of Plateau State. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I assure you that my decision to join the APC is motivated by the commitment
Point of order,
to
Mr.
the
Speaker.
welfare of my people, the development
Point of order,
of
Mr.
our
Speaker.
state, and the future prosperity of Nigeria.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
I look forward to continue
Speaker must
my
be heard in
work
silence.
the National Assembly as a member of the APC.
Point of order.
And I remain dedicated to advancing
Speaker must be heard in silence, please.
of Jos South and Jos East Federal Constituency. I thank you for your understanding and continued support. Yours faithfully, signed,
Speaker must be heard in silence, please.
Alfred Iliam. Honorable colleagues, it's my pleasure to present to you
Mr. Speaker, point of
the
order.
newest member of APC
Mr.
of the State
Speaker.
Assembly.
Point of order.
Honorable Ajana Alfred Iliam. Welcome.
Point
to the
of order,
People's
Mr.
Party in
Speaker.
Africa. I'll recognize your point of order after a while. Eh? Let us celebrate a little and then you can talk.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, point of order, constitutional point of order.
You have the leadership. You can sit
Mr.
down to your
Speaker,
leader.
point
He will
of order.
talk on your behalf. Eh? The leader will speak on your behalf.
Mr. Speaker,
Okay.
constitutional point of
The
order.
leader has graciously
Point of order,
given
Mr.
the
Speaker.
floor so you can speak. Speak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Order 8 through 6. Personal explanation. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, my name remains Honorable Amobi Godwin Oga. I represent Nigerians through the good people of Isukwato and Umunochi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable you have the floor.
Point of order, sir.
Right to speak, please. After him, you can speak. Go ahead, Honorable Amobi.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to remind this House that our colleague that is defecting today seems to have defected during Buhari time in the night assembly. Maybe he will write another letter of defection because for this one, it was in night assembly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Your point is noted. Thank you for your contribution. Honorable George.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me another opportunity on the same recalling decimal the third time. My name is Honorable George Ibezima Kozodinobi. I represent the good people of Njikoka and Ocha Dunukofia Federal Constituency. I'm from Anambra State. I don't want to be repeating myself. I've spoken on the same situation 2 times. This is the second time. I want to wish those of us who think defecting from Labour to APC is their best decision in politics. I wish them well. We look forward meeting them again in 2027 if they will have opportunity to be here. I wish them well, and those of us who are still contemplating to move to whatever party, we still wish you people well. Labour remains one family, an indivisible family up to this moment. I don't want to start citing our house rule and all of that, but I wish them well. The end will justify the means. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, leader, for such a very inspiring contribution. May God bless you.
Point of order.
I think, Honorable, you want to say a word of
Order, please.
Please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, point of order.
Point of order on what Honorable George has said.
Same
In
subject matter.
Wishing
but
all the best to our new member.
Mr. Speaker,
Is that what you don't want him to say or what?
Mr. Speaker, I would rise under Section 68 of the Constitution. 68 of the Constitution, and I would want to pray again, let it be on record, that we are putting the cart before the horse. The conditions have not been fulfilled for us to even accept the letter that we read. I will therefore pray this House to reject this letter and advise our colleague to take appropriate steps. We believe that constitutionally you have a right of association. However, you must be prepared to follow the procedure and also bear the consequences of your choice or choices. The Constitution provides that if you are a member of a political party and you intend to leave the party upon whose platform and become a member of another party. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, our colleague has not established the fact that he is a member of any other party as to warrant the presentation of that letter before this House this morning. I would therefore pray that you ignore the letter in its totality and allow him to take the proper step in his ward at home and then come back to this place to inform us. Thank you, sir.
For your information, leader,
Who laid down
our
the
honorable
procedure?
colleague has satisfied all the criteria based on
Point
the
of
legal
order.
advice I've gotten.
Point of
and
order,
he's good
Mr.
to
Speaker.
go. But thank you for your contribution.
Point of
Thank
order.
you. Honorable Gadi.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Yusuf Gagdi is my name. I represent Panshinkanke Kanam Federal Constituency. I'm from Plateau State. This is a constitutional point of order. But before then, we are all parliaments and we are familiar with the sections and provisions of Nigerian Constitution, particularly as is regard to the section he is quoting in respect of defection, where members have the right to leave a political party so as long as there is a leadership crisis in that party. Be that as it may, the Constitution of Nigeria again, 68 and for defection, 68.8. But in addition to that, if you look at the Constitution regarding to rights, freedom of assembly and association, section 40, equally mandates anybody to be free to associate with any political party. And for the purpose of clarity, let me read, Mr. Speaker. Section 40 says, every person shall be entitled to assemble freely and associate with other persons, and in particular, he may form or belong to any political party, trade union, or any other association for the protection of his interests. Mr. Speaker, this section have no ambiguity. It is very clear. It donates the power to any individual to associate with trade union, political party at his own will, more so that there is a leadership crisis in the party he stated and he left. In addition to that, Mr. Speaker, all the point of order, if that will bring down the opposition high blood pressure, we agree. Because, Mr. Speaker, Plateau State have 8 members in the House of Representatives. Now we have 7 APC. We have 21 state assembly members. You can see the agitation and reaction toward that because it sends a signal that Plateau is not an opposition state. It is absolutely an APC state. If this will make them feel better, we congratulate them to say what they want to say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable
Point
Gadi.
of order, Mr. Speaker.
And,
Point of order.
I am giving you a special assignment.
Point of order, Mr.
Honorable
Speaker.
Gadi.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Special assignment I'm giving you. By January, I want to see how we can get Plateau 100 over 100 in the Grand Chamber.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Please.
Mr. Speaker, point of order.
Mark, I said,
Mr. Speaker, point of order.
Point of order, and then we proceed.
Point of order.
Honorable Mark, I said.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
I have recognized Honorable Mark, I said, please allow him to speak.
Every weapon formed against this mic shall not prosper. From the opposition. Thank you, the People's Speaker, a man of peace that speaks the truth, a great stabilizer. And I know today you are going to speak the truth, sir. Mark said is my name. Speaking for the good people of Uyo, Udran, Nsaratai, and if I said most of federal constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, we are on a live telecast. And when we stand up to speak, as people's representative, we have to state the facts and prove to the people that we are truly lawmakers, not lawbreakers. The constitutional provision for defection, constitutional provision, is well stated in our constitution. What my friend and colleague, Honorable Gadi, quoted is out of context. This is not association. It's not association. A political party, a member was elected. What does the law say? Prove that there is crisis. As far as I'm concerned, in APC, in Labour, there is no political crisis in the leadership. Mr. Speaker, as far as I'm concerned, the law states that once you defect from the party that sponsors you, automatically, Mr. Speaker, if we are lawmakers, we must protect this law. We should not break this law, Mr. Speaker, if we are lawmakers.
Thank you for your
Mr. Speaker.
contribution. Thank you.
Let us not put the Constitution upside down. As lawmakers, we should be careful of what we are quoting and the sections we are quoting and citing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Your points are noted. I think we don't need to escalate this debate.
Point of order.
It is okay. I think we have said enough. But out of respect, let me recognize Honorable Idris Ahmed, and we draw the curtain from there, please.
Respected colleagues, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, my name is Ahmed Idris. I represent Wase Federal Constituency, Plateau State. By the grace of God, member of this parliament, and I want to respectfully address my brother in the respect of what he raised in the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I think parliamentary use of language is one other thing that is key. I don't think we are lawbreakers. And I don't think the decision taken by the Speaker is wrong in recognizing and the person who have taken his own destiny and own decision to say he's defecting. And I'm relying solely on Section 68, and I read H. It says that a member who wants to defect will have to say protected, provided there's division in the party. And by that, what Gagdi quoted, yes, possibly, if he wants to go further, is about association freedom. That the freedom of association guarantees to maneuver. But as a member, of course, if he has not satisfied this one, he could be threatened. But he has satisfied. Everybody knows in this country that Labour had 2 conventions. We have 2 issues. It's known. It's known. It's known, sir. So, thank you. And that we are supposed to be alongside what is going in terms of issues of the moment. We are aware they are in court, and if they are in court, why are they in court? Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, this is a very apt ruling that you have done, and I want to align myself and align with every progressive with what you have done. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think we have said enough. Thank you, honorable colleagues, for your contributions. We go to the next item, which is petition. Honorable Jesse, do you want to kickstart, or should you yield the floor to other members?
Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, there are already a petition in the House. Thank you, sir.
And I'm sure Honorable Jesse will soon relinquish their position, having been announced as the chair of United States, Nigeria-United States Friendship. He will be so much occupied in that area. Thank you so much. Yes, my dear Honorable.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Obi Agocha. I rise this morning to present a petition from my constituent by the name Kelechi C. Nwosu for urgent intervention regarding property acquisition and access road. Mr. Speaker, the petitioner's property is a bungalow located at Plot 4B, Justice Street, Karo, Abuja, situated on a 900 square meter of land. The property borders the Defense College, DIC. The said DIC is currently undergoing expansion to upgrade to a full-fledged university, which has necessitated acquiring adjoining lands and property, including his. The commandant of DIC had approached him to submit a proposal of his property and has subsequently fenced off same, perhaps with the intention of onward purchase. This new development, Mr. Speaker, on his property have blocked access gate to his house and is now left with a temporary pathway granted to him by his neighbor to access his house. A proposal of 100 million naira has long been submitted to the commandant as requested, but unfortunately no purchase has been made since then, and no word from them nor any updates regarding decisions of the property despite repeated requests for a response. Mr. Speaker, he is deeply inconvenienced by this situation, hence seeks the intervention of this honorable house. Mr. Speaker, may I take the leave of this House to present the petition?
Please go ahead. Any more petitions? Yes, my dear brother.
All right, Honorable Speaker, the man of truth, the Zazo. I am Donald Kimekambo Ojogo. I represent the very wonderful people of Ilaje South, the federal constituency. I am from Ondo State, Mr. Speaker, and distinguished members of these Alo chambers. I have a petition rights in my hand from grand juries, legal practitioners, and consultants, writing on behalf of their clients, Mr. Osita G. Prezi, the Managing Director of Petro Digits, and the petition is headline as follows. Petition against the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited for breach of contract and violation of rights of Petro Digits Nigeria Limited, as well as violation and breach of Nigerian procurement laws. Mr. Speaker, this is an 8-page petition, and attached to the petition is a plethora of annexes and documents. Mr. Speaker, I seek the leave of this House and your kind approval to lay this petition before your honorable self, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
Please go ahead. Any more petitions? No? All petitions are referred to the Committee on Public Petitions for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, we have a motion coming from Honorable Abubakar Babazango, Honorable Amo B.D. Oga, and 6 others. If Honorable Amo B is here, please can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The People's Speaker, a good man and a unifier. My name remains Honorable Amubi Godwin Oga. I represent Nigerians through the good people of Isukwato and Umunnochi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to seek the leave of the House to come under Order A through 5 to move a motion on a matter of urgent public importance, the need to translate commitment to action to end TB by 2030. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder to the first leg? Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, my dear Speaker. My name is Honorable Paul Ekpo. I represent the people of Etinan, Uset Ibom, and Uset Ubiom. I am from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise this morning to second the motion as ably moved by my dear brother. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. The second leg of the motion. Now, I would want to identify a labor man to second for obvious reasons. Not a former. No, not a former. Eh? Honorable Mark. Eh?
Very proud Labour man. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Mark Chidi Obeta. I'm the member representing Nsukka Igbezi South Federal Constituency. I'm from Enugu, proudly Labour. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the second leg of that motion, ably moved by our Labour man, Honorable Amobi Oga. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. Labour man Amobi, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognizing that I'm a Labour man. Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues, the House notes that tuberculosis is caused by bacterial infection called Mycobacterium tuberculosis that most often affects lungs, despite the fact that TB is curable and preventable. It kills more people than HIV and malaria, combined globally, and is the leading cause of death in Nigeria. It is associated with HIV/AIDS, undernutrition, non-communicable diseases, as well as stigma, discrimination, and other human rights abuses. The House notes that Nigeria currently ranks first in Africa and sixth in the world, accounting for about 4.6% of global TB burden. According to World Health Organization, about 11 million people get infected with tuberculosis, and 1.8 million die each year from the disease, making it the world's top infectious disease killer. The House is aware that significantly progress has been made in the fight against tuberculosis globally, resulting in the reduction of deaths by 38% and new cases by 23%, which is driven by an increase in tuberculosis case detection rates, with over 1 million more people being diagnosed in 2022 than 2017, according to WHO Global TB Report 2023. The House is worried that major gaps still exist, as almost a third of the people with TB still misses out on diagnosis each year, and just 1/3 of the people with TB being tested. In addition to vulnerable and marginalized population, with more than half of the children under the age of 5 and 3/4 of the children with more drugs and resistance, TB never been diagnosed and reported to national TB programs. The House is concerned that funding for TB is grossly inadequate, both locally and globally, and for an increase in the number of people being diagnosed and treated requires an increase in TB budget, especially for vital commodities. The House also aware that nearly 70% of countries supported by the Global Fund are projected to face deficits in their budget next year, with 10 countries alone facing a combined $600 million shortfall for 2025. The House also worried that the global disease split for Global Fund investment for the country grant to each of HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis has remained largely unchanged over the last decade, with the TB receiving approximately 18% of available funding compared with the 50% for HIV and 32% for malaria. The House also notes that on September 26, 2018, heads of states and governments from around the world, including Nigeria, met in New York at the United Nations high-level meeting on TB and agreed a set of commitments to end TB by 2030. And on September 22, 2023, the United Nations members states, include Nigeria, came together for a second United Nations high-level meeting on TB to review progress and agree on a new set of commitments to end TB by 2030. Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues, the House resolves to urge the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, to set up a private sector-driven trust fund that will mobilize funds for the TB response in Nigeria. 2, to urge the federal government to ensure that TB treatment service and basic TB diagnosis equipment are made available in all 774 local government areas of the country. And also to urge the Federal Ministry of Health, through the Global Fund Country Coordinating Mechanism, Nigeria, to advocate for immediate increase of global disease split to 35% in favor of TB. The House also resolved to urge the federal government to increase local funding for TB to ensure Nigeria abides by all the commitments towards ending TB by 2030. Finally, and not by the least, the House resolved to mandate the House Committee on HIV/AIDS, Tuberculosis, Leprosy, and Malaria Control to present a bill that will address the abuses of rights of those infected with TB. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Any seconder? Honorable Vincent? Yes, my plateau man.
Thank you, the People's Speaker. I still remain Honorable Ambassador Daniel Asama, a Labour Party member representing the people of Bassa, Jos North Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Plateau State.
Thank you, my brother, even for that reason.
I rise to support the motion ably moved by my senior colleague. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, welcome. So, is charity begins at home, IB? Supporting one label by the other, IB? Thank you. So let's put it question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on HIV, AIDS, and Tuberculosis for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, the first business of the day is a motion on admittance. Honorable colleagues, The first business of the day is a motion on admittance into the chamber delegates of the Global TB Caucus, 5th African TB Summit, for the purpose of observing the House proceedings in the name of the House Leader. The House Leader is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker. Abdullah Ibrahim Ali is my name. I'm from Kogi State. I stand to move the motion that the delegates of the Global TB Caucus 5th African TB Summit be admitted into the chamber. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Leader of the House, who is so happy, excited today, but I don't know what the reasons are. Can you happily second this motion?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And I'm sure it's not like the other one where you decline.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You are willing not to second, Abi?
Honorable colleagues, I am Ali Issa JCPSD representing Balanga Billiri Federal Constituency. I'm from Gombe State and the minority whip, sir. I'm very happy today because the Speaker has announced me as the Leader of the House. So the minority has taken over the House. I hereby second, Mr. Speaker, I hereby second the motion moved by Right Honorable Alims, the Deputy Leader of the House, as a Leader of the House, to allow the admittance of our delegates to the chamber. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
You know, Honorable, for obvious reasons, I need to really appease you and make you... Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Leader, please can you usher our visitors to the chamber? The second business of the day is presentation of 4 reports of Committee on Commerce, standing in the name of Honorable Engineer Ahmed Munir. The reports are ready for presentation. Honorable Munir is hereby invited to present the reports.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Ahmed Munir, and I represent the awesome people of the Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, from Kaduna State.
Order, please.
I hereby rise to
Order, please.
To present reports of the House Committee on Commerce, which is in line with the direction of the 10th Assembly under the leadership of Dr. Honorable Abbas Tajuddin to ensure the ease of doing business and ensure we foster international and local commerce within and outside the country. You hereby report the reports as follows. A bill for an act to establish integrated corporate data management commission as the body responsible for comprehensive collation, harmonization of certificates issued by corporate statutory regulatory bodies, graduation based on compliance with enabling laws regulating corporate entities in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 518. A bill for an act to establish Institute of Debt Recovery Practitioners of Nigeria to train, regulate, license, and exercise control over the occupation of collection and recovery of debt, levies, fees, or remuneration by registered debt collectors and for related matters, HB 96. A bill for an act to establish Chartered Corporate and Business Affairs Management of Nigeria to provide for the control of its membership, promote and foster the practice of corporate and business affairs management in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 480. A bill for an act to establish Agro-Processing Zone, Yewa North, Imeko Afon, Ogun State, and for related matters, HB 219. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Is the deputy chairman of the committee around, Ambassador? Is he around? No? Any seconder? Honorable Abdul.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Abdullahi El Rashid, member representing Dukuna Fada Federal Constituency from Gombe State. I rise to second that the House do receive the reports of the Committee on Commerce on HB 518, HB 96, HB 480, and HB 219. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of these motions, you say aye. Those against, you say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Munir, please proceed. I lay your report. Honorable colleagues, the first order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Act 2007 and enact the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Act 2024 to provide for establishment of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency for the promotion of maritime safety and security, protection of the marine environment, ship registration and commercial shipping, maritime labor and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. Honorable colleagues, we have 13 bills that are all on third reading, so I'll read them all for the House Leader to take them together. The second order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to establish Alex Ikweme Federal University Teaching Hospital, Abakaliki, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. The third order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to establish Federal University of Agriculture and Development Studies, Irabiji, Osun State, and to make comprehensive provision for its due management and administration and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. The fourth order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, Cap A12 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, as amended to make provision for the establishment of Federal College of Agriculture and Technology, Nabanje, Katsina State, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. The fifth order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to repeal the Investment and Securities Act 2007, Act number 29 of 2007, and enact the Investment and Securities Bill 2024, and to establish Securities and Exchange Commission as the apex regulatory authority for the Nigerian capital market, as well as regulation of the market to ensure capital formation, protection of investors, maintenance of fair, efficient, and transparent markets, and reduction of systematic risk and related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. The sixth order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to enact the Nigerian Content Non-Oil and Gas Sector Development Establishment Bill, to establish statutory bodies and to provide for programs and structures for the promotion of Nigerian content in the Nigerian economy and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. The seventh order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend Federal Medical Centers Act and to establish Federal Medical Center Afam River State and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. The eighth order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Ikosu, Mobile Local Government Area of Ekiti State, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. The ninth order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act 2022 and establish Federal Medical Center Oshobo, Osun State, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. The 10th order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act 2022 and establish Federal Medical Center Akonike, Enugu State, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. The 11th order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Amasoma, Bayelsa State, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. The 12th order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make provision for the establishment of Agricultural and Energy Technical Institute, Nasarawa Egon, Nasarawa State, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. The 13th order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to regulate corporate social responsibility in Nigeria and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 11 December 2024. I therefore call on the House Leader to move that the 13 bills be read the third time.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Speaker, my distinguished honorable colleagues. Abdullah Ibrahim Ali Alims is my name. I am from Kogi State, and I represent the wonderful people of Ankpa, Omanaola, Federal Constituency. I rise to move that the following bills are read for the third time. 1. Bill number HB 1594, HB 281, SB 569, SB 477, SB 128, SB 59, HB 1191, HB 782, HB 478, HB 490, HB 1118, HB 116, and finally HB 242, to be read for the third time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader, can you please second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my respected honorable colleague. I rise to second the motion moved by the leader that the bills be read the third term. That is bill number 1 to 13. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Act 2007 and enact the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Act 2024. Provide for establishment of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency for the promotion of maritime safety and security, protection of the maritime environment, ship registration and commercial shipping, maritime labor and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to establish Alex Ekweme Federal University Teaching Hospital, Abakaliki, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to establish Federal University of Agriculture and Development Studies, Iragbiji, Osun State, and to make comprehensive provision for its due management and administration and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 as amended to make provision for the establishment of Federal College of Agriculture and Technology, Nabanje, Katsina State, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to repeal the Investment and Securities Act 2007, Act number 29, 2007, and enact the Investment and Securities Bill 2024, and to establish Securities and Exchange Commission as the apex regulatory authority for the Nigerian capital market, as well as regulation of the market to ensure capital formation, protection of investors, maintenance of fair, efficient, and transparent market, and reduction of systemic risk, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to enact the Nigerian Content Non-Oil and Gas Sector Development Establishment Bill to establish statutory bodies and provide for programs and structures for the promotion of Nigerian content in the Nigerian economy and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act 2022 and establish Federal Medical Center, AFAM, River State, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Ikosu, Moba, Local Government Area, Ekiti State, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act 2022 and establish Federal Medical Center, Oshogo, Osun State, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act 2022 and establish Federal Medical Center, Akonike, Enugu State, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Amasoma, Bayelsa State, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provision for the establishment of Agricultural and Energy Technical Institute, Nasarawa, Egon, Nasarawa State, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to regulate corporate social responsibility in Nigeria and for related matters. Third reading.
All 13 bills read the third time and passed. The 14th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 as amended to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Fisheries and Aquatic Sciences, Umaisha, Total Local Government Area, Nasarawa State, and for related matters. Honorable members, who recall that the bill was transmitted by the Senate, seeking concurrence of the House of Representatives. The bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 15th October 2024. I now invite the House Leader to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Abdullah Ibrahim Ali Halims, representing the wonderful people of Ankpa, Omala, Olamboro Federal Constituency. I am from Kogi State. I rise to move once again that a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, as amended, to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Fisheries and Aquatic Sciences, Umeisa, Toto Local Government Area, Nasarawa State, and related matters, SB 56, be read for second time. As we are aware, this Senate bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I rise to second a motion moved by the leader that SB 56 be read the second time. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 as amended, to make provision for the establishment of Federal College of Fisheries and Aquatic Sciences, Umaisha, Toto Local Government Area, Nasarawa State, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee of the Whole for further legislative action. The 15th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skill Acquisition, Zaki Biam, Benue State, to provide full-time courses, teaching instructions, and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Solomon Wombo. Honorable members, you recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 24th October 2024. I will now invite Honorable Wombo to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Speaker, respected colleagues. My name is Solomon Wombo. I represent the people of Kasnala, Ukum, Logo Federal Constituency. I am from Benue State. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, before this Honorable House today is a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skills Acquisition, Zakibiam, Benue State. I humbly request the Honorable House to kindly support this bill as I rise to move that the bill be read a second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Thank you.
Any seconder? Honorable Fred.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. Agbedi Yeichemuna Frederick is my name. I represent Sagbama Kremo Federal Constituency. I'm from Bayelsa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to second the motion for second reading of the bill as ably moved by my honorable colleagues. I say second. Thank you, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, this is an establishment bill. With your kind permission, we'll just go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this bill to be read the second time should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skills Acquisition, Zaki Biam, Benue State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Polytechnics and Higher Education for further legislative action. The 16th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Federal Technical and Vocational Training Center about to promote training, certification, and registration of trained artisans to ensure effective provision of technical services in the execution of both public and private capital projects in Nigeria and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Alexander Mascot and 7 other honorable members. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 21st May 2024. I'll now invite Honorable Mascot to move that the bill be read a second time. Honorable Mascot? I thought I saw him. Not around? Bill stepped down by the leave of the House. The 17th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to provide a legal framework for establishment of National Rice Production, Processing and Research Institute, Argungu, Kebbi State, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Ibrahim Al-Mustafa Aliyu. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 27 July 2023. I now invite Honorable Ali to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you very much. Dear Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD in Zazzau, GCON, Honorable colleagues, I remain Architect Ibrahim Al-Mustafa Aliyu, member representing Wurno Raba Federal Constituency from Sokoto State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to move for the intentions of this honorable House to allow for the second reading of a bill seeking for an act to provide a legal framework for establishment of National Rice Production, Processing and Research Institute, Argungu, Kebbi State, HB 423. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Kaoji, can you second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, my name is Honorable Bello Kaoji. I represent the good people of Bagudo and Suru Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kebbi State. I rise to second the motion moved by Honorable Mustafa. Mr. Speaker, I so second. Thank you.
Honorable Kaoji, Honorable Kumo is challenging your state of origin. Did you say...
Mr. Speaker, don't worry, don't mind Mr. Kumo.
Thank you. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleague, this is an establishment bill. We doesn't require any debate. With your kind permission, we just go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act provide legal framework for establishment of National Rice Production, Processing and Research Institute, Argungu, Kebbi State, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Agricultural Production and Services for further legislative action. The 18th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry, Urban Akampa, Cross River State, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Emil Inyang. Honorable members recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 27 July 2024. I now invite Honorable Inyang to move that the bill be read a second time. Honorable Inyang.
Honorable Speaker, respected Speaker, my dear colleagues,
I rise to move a motion for the second reading of a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry, Oban, in Akampa, Cross River State, and for related matters, HB 365. I so move.
Any seconder? I didn't hear my sister's voice for quite a while. Honorable Kafilat, can you second? Somebody left his mic on there. Okay, you can go ahead now.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues. My name is Kafila Togbara. I represent Koshofe Federal Constituency, and I'm from Lagos State, the Center of Excellence. I rise this afternoon to second the motion ably moved by my colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Again, honorable colleagues, this is an establishment bill. With I can't permit you to put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act provide for establishment of Federal College of Agriculture and Forestry, Oban Akpanka, Cross River State, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions for further legislative action. The 19th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, Cap A12 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004 as amended to make provisions for establishment of the Federal College of Agriculture, Ohurnike, Edo State, to provide full-time courses, teaching and training in agriculture, agricultural technology, and carry out its due administrative and management and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Billy Osauro. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 21st November 2024, and now invite Honorable Billy to move that the bill be read a second time. Billy not around? Okay, bill stepped down by the leave of the House. The 20th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency Act to improve the effectiveness of primary healthcare delivery in Nigeria and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Moshood Olaruanju Oshun, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 29th October 2024. I now invite Honorable Oshun to move that the bill be read second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished colleagues, my name is Moshood Olaruanju Oshun. I represent the wonderful people of Lagos Mainland Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos State. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I rise to move that a bill for an act to amend the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency Act 2004 to improve the effectiveness of primary healthcare delivery in Nigeria and for related matters be read the second time. I so move. Thank you.
Any seconder? Who is this man? Honorable Kauji, who is sitting next to you raising his arms? He's looking like an Oibo man. Wherever he is, please, you can rise and second.
Thank you very much. Right Honorable Speaker, Iya Zazao. Seated next to me, Mr. Speaker, is the only man who controls two constituencies, one in Kebbi and the other one in Bono.
Mr. Speaker, I remain Baba Jimmy Benson.
Mr. Speaker, point of order. Overruled.
Mr. Speaker, I remain Baba Jimmy Benson, representing the good people of the Crude Federal Constituency, the Miami of Lagos. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This is also an establishment bill. With your kind permission, we'll go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency Act 2004 to improve the effectiveness of primary healthcare delivery in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Healthcare Services for further legislative action. The 21st order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Federal University of Health Sciences, Etinan, Akwa Ibom State as training institution for the development of medical and health sciences and make comprehensive provisions for the management and administration of the university and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Paul Epo Asuko. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 2nd July 2024. I will now invite Honorable Asuko to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name remains Honorable Paul Ekpo. I represent the people of Etinan, Nsetibom, and Nsutubiom. I am from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise this afternoon to move a motion for a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Health Sciences, Etinan, Akwa Ibom State, as a training institution for the development of medical and health sciences and make comprehensive provisions for the management and administration of the university and for related matters. HB 1516, I so moved.
Any seconder? Yes, Honorable.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Salami, we can't recognize you because you have not done the needful.
Point of order to my colleagues who call me the Campi. I'm already a confirmed APC member. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I'm Honorable Engineer Form Dali of Cholom, a member representing Barking Nigerian Federal Constituency. I rise to support the motion heavily moved by my colleague, friend, Paul from
And please find your seat.
So moved.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Again, honorable colleague, this is an establishment bill. We can go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Federal University of Health Sciences, Etinan, Akwa Ibom State as training institution for the development of medical and health sciences and make comprehensive provisions for the management and administration of the university and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on University Education for further legislative action. The 22nd order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Medical Dialysis Studies to promote the practices and professionalism for medical dialysis studies in Nigeria and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Abdulmalik Zubairu. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 27 February 2024. I now invite Honorable Zubairu to move that the bill be read a second time.
Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Abdulmalik Zubairu Bungudu, the original Zana of this House, representing Bungudu Morifere constituency.
Point of order. Are you suggesting to us here all that the only Zana that we should recognize is you?
No, I'm the original one, sir. I'm not
All
the
the
original
rest
one.
are
I'm the original
counterfeit.
one, sir.
They are fake ones.
They are fake one and duplicate one, sir.
Well, we'll see. I'm sure those that you are referring to will respond at their convenience.
Yes, sir. Representing Bungudu Federal Constituency of Zamfara State, I hereby move that the bill for an act to establish a chartered institute for medical dialysis studies of Nigeria to promote the practice and the professionalism for medical dialysis studies in Nigeria and for related matters to be read for the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder? The D.
The Right Honorable Speaker, sir, very distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion ably moved by my senior colleague, Honorable Abdul Malik Zadna. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Again, it is an establishment bill. With your kind permission, we'll put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Honorable Zadna, I thought you will oppose the bill for obvious reasons.
I oppose it, Your Excellency.
No, but I didn't. We already the gavel. Too late.
Because it's the Pek Zana, Your Excellency, from Bagudu.
Clerk?
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Medical Dialysis Studies to promote the practice and professionalism for medical dialysis studies in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Health Institutions for further legislative action. The 23rd order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Poverty Alleviation and Skills Acquisition Center to alleviate poverty and provide emerging entrepreneurs with appropriate knowledge and skills for self-development and job creation to enhance productivity and promotion of national economic growth and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Hussein Mohamed Jallo. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 17 July 2024. I now invite Honorable Jallo to move that the bill be read a second time.
Right, Honorable Speaker, my colleagues, I'm Hussein Mohamed Jallo, representing the Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. It's a bill for an act to establish the Poverty Alleviation and Skills Acquisition Center to alleviate poverty and provide emerging entrepreneurs with appropriate knowledge and skills for self-development and job creation to enhance productivity and promotion of national economic growth in Rigasa, Federal Constituency of Kaduna State, and for related matters to be read for the second time. HB 75. Thank you.
Any seconder? The former chairman of, is it motion supporters or killers? I don't know. Whichever. Please, can you rise and second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Chris Mkwanta, and I represent the good people of Okwa East and West Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, from Abia State, I rise this morning to second the motion that the bill be read for the second time. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Again, honorable colleagues, This is an establishment bill. We go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Poverty Alleviation and Skills Acquisition Center to alleviate poverty and provide emerging entrepreneurs with appropriate knowledge and skills for self-development and job creation to enhance productivity and promotion of national economic growth and for related matters. Second reading.
Has it been seconded? Has it been seconded? Okay, so we go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk. Okay, this bill is referred to the Committee on Poverty Alleviation for further legislative action. The 24th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004 as amended, to make provisions for establishment of the National Highland Crops and Vegetable Research Institute, Bokos Plateau State, and for the research and development in highland crops, improve crop yields, disease resistance, and climate resilience for enhanced food security and social economic development in Nigeria and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Ishaya David Lalu. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 28 November 2024. I now invite Honorable Lalu to move that the bill be read second time.
Mr. Speaker, Ian Zazo, PhD, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Ishaya David Lalu, PhD, member representing Mangu Bokos Federal Constituency. I am from Plateau State, the home of peace and tourism. I rise to move a motion on a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 as amended, to make provision for establishment of the National Highland Crops and Vegetable Research Institute, Bokos, Plateau State, for the research and development in highland crops and vegetable production, improve crop yields, disease resistance, and climate resilience for enhanced food security and social economic development in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 1876. I move to be read for second reading. I so move. Thank you.
My Plateau friend. For obvious reasons, you know, I have to give
Honorable
you the opportunity
Speaker,
to showcase yourself today.
distinguished colleague, my name is Honorable Ajang Alfred Ilya. I rise to second.
You didn't say which party. After your name, you should mention your party and then your constituency.
Okay. My name is Honorable Ajang Alfred Ilya from South Just East Federal Constituency of Plateau State. Edekampi from Labour Party to APC, which we also said Labour in vain. So I rise to second this very important motion that this bill should be read for the second time. Thank you, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This is also an establishment bill. With your kind permission, we'll go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk?
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap 812 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 as amended to make provision for the establishment of national highland...
Mr. Speaker, point of order.
National Highland Crops and Vegetable Research Institute, BOCOS.
Let him finish and then you can
and for the research
raise
and
your point of
development in
order.
highland crops and vegetable production, improve crop yields, disease resistance and climate resilience, and for enhanced food security and social economic development in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
Is your point of order related to this? Okay. This bill referred to the Committee on Agricultural Production and Services for further legislative action. You still want to raise a point of order or we can proceed?
No, Mr. Speaker, just 1 second, if permitted.
Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, my point of order is regarding to Honorable Alima Dawaki. He's not dressing properly. He's not wearing an Honorable Ruru. Check their head, Mr. Speaker, the kind of cap they are wearing. They are not supposed to wear it. It's not red cap.
Honorable Madaki, do you have any response to that?
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Kaoji is a very good friend and a gentleman. I greet him.
Thank you. I'm also equally greeting him on your behalf. Honorable colleagues, before we proceed, it's my pleasure to recognize the presence of the delegates of the Global TB Caucus, 5th African TB Summit, who are here to observe our presence. Please, can you rise up for recognition? You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, the 25th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skills Acquisition Center, Maiduguri, Borno State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied sciences, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Rais Abdulkadir. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 17th October 2024. I now invite Honorable Rais to move that the bill be read a second time. He's not around? Okay, bill step down by the leave of the House. The 26th order of the day is a motion or reconsideration of outstanding bills from preceding assembly, standing in the name of Honorable Francis Ijorogene Waebe. Honorable Waebe is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Francis Ijorogene Waebe is my name, and I represent the entire people of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu. I'm from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to move a procedural motion for reconsideration of outstanding bills from previous assembly. I move for the reconsideration of the following bills. 1, Federal Polytechnics Act Amendment Bill 2024, HB 1977, Agricultural Research Council Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2024, HB 1978, Federal Polytechnic Act Amendment Bill 2024, HB 1815, and Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2024, HB 1818. The House knows that pursuant to Order 12, Rule 17, A, B, C, and D of the Standing Orders, the House may, upon being regazetted or circulated, reconsider in the Committee of the Whole without commencing de novo the bills, whose reports were presented by the committee before consideration, passed by the House and forwarded to the Senate for concurrence for which no concurrence was made or negative, passed by the Senate and forwarded to the House, for which no concurrence was made or negative, and passed by the President Assembly and forwarded to the President for assent, but for which assent or withholding thereof was not communicated before the end of the tenure of the preceding Assembly. The House also notes that the aforementioned bills were passed by the preceding Assembly and forwarded to the President for assent, but for which assent or withholding thereof was not communicated before the end of the tenure of the last Assembly. Aware that the bills were read for the first time in this 10th Assembly as HB 1977, 1978, 1815, 1818 respectively, the House resolves to recommit the bills to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Halims.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Abdullah Ibrahim Halims is my name, from Ankpa Federal Constituency, Kogi State. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by Chairman, House Committee on Rules and Business. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. These bills are committed to the Committee of the Whole for further legislative action. The 27th order of the day is a motion on ravaging flood disaster in Maiduguri and other local government areas of Borno State, standing in the name of Honorable Abubakar Hassan Fulata. Honorable Fulata is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Hassan Fulata. I represent Berniwa, Krika Sama, Guri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, for the record, this motion is being sponsored by the entire members of the House Committee on University Education and the entire 10 members of the Borno State caucus. The omission arose from the Secretariat. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, House notes the recent flood disaster that submerged Maiduguri and environs, as well as other neighboring local governments, causing unimaginable loss of lives, livestock, property worth billions of naira. Also notes that the flood disaster affected, among other government institutions, including the Nigerian Arabic language village, which was originally located in Ngambarungala, but was forced to relocate to its liaison office in Maiduguri as a result of Boko Haram insurgency before these unfortunate incidents occurred. Aware that the Arabic language village, which is one of the 4 inter-university centers established by the federal government of Nigeria with the aim of offering Arabic and such related courses to Nigerians by promoting Arabic immersion services to undergraduates of universities and acculturation services to students from colleges of education. Also aware that the Arabic village fosters cooperation and ties with other countries, particularly in Arabic-speaking and cultural exhibitions, bridging language barriers in the community of nations. Disturbed that the flood submerged the Arabic language village, destroying computers, ICT appliances, books, journals, offices, library, furniture, and fittings, and such related items for promoting learning in the institution. The Boko Haram insurgency complicated the situation. The center's strategic roles in immersion and acculturation programs have been suspended due to the flood. Also disturbed that the students undergoing a 1-year compulsory program in the village will be stranded pending rehabilitation and replacement of damaged books, equipment, computers, and teaching aids for Arabic and academic activities. Cognizant that the capacity of funds and the fact that Borno State government that has been assisting the village in its dire need for assistance in view of the fact that it is also overwhelmed by the flood disaster, hence craves for financial and other forms of assistance to ameliorate the sufferings of its citizens, those can no longer render any assistance to the village. House resolves to urge the National Emergency Management Agency to immediately provide and distribute relief materials to the institution, students, and staff affected by the flood. 2. Also urge the Honorable Ministers of Budget and National Planning, Federal Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Finance, and Director General Budget of the Federation, the Accountant General of the Federation, the National Emergency Management Agency, as well as the National Universities Commission to A. Approve immediate release of funds from the service-wide vote to the Nigerian Arabic village for the procurement of all potential and essential items required for the resumption of its operations and academic activities. B. Include substantial amounts for the development of the permanent site of the Arabic language village in the 2025 budget, as well as make provisions for the maintenance and sustenance of the existing temporary site for full operation pending the completion and handover of the permanent site. 3. Mandate the Committee on University Education to investigate the level of damage and the requirements to put the institution back into operation and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Prabhu Usman Kumo, I don't know what qualifies you to second this motion. You are not an educationist, neither are you from the blessed state of Yobe.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Malam Dr. Usman Bello Kumo, a Fulani Arab, member representing Akko Federal Constituency, for the sympathy I have for the Borno people as my subject, I rise to second this motion, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye.
Amendment, Mr.
Those
Speaker.
against should say nay.
Mr. Speaker, amendment.
Pardon?
Amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Amendment?
Yes.
So please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, my fellow colleagues, I am Right Honorable Ido Garba, a proud son of United Federation from Yamatu Deva Federal Constituency, Gombe State. Mr. Speaker, while I appreciate my colleagues for this very important and cogent motion that has to do with the security of lives and properties of our people, I want to come with the following amendment in the prayers. Mr. Speaker, looking at the magnitude of the devastation and the damages caused by that flood in Borno State, I want to add that the federal government should set up a special committee to ascertain the level of damage done, because it affects all other institutions, be it health, education, agriculture, and the rest, with the view to come with a package of having a special intervention fund to be able to alleviate.
Honorable Garba, the sponsors are saying that there is already either that prayer or that committee already in existence.
Special intervention fund? Special intervention fund. Special intervention fund. Special.
What differentiates a special intervention fund from a special committee that is established to look into those areas of needs?
So, Mr. Speaker, if the sponsors want it the way they want, so be it. But I think it's good to pay, that committee will pay more attention in looking at what happens in health, education, and other infrastructure.
I think what they are saying is that the current arrangement is okay.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to
Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. So we go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on University Education for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, let me once more welcome the delegates of the Global TB Caucus 5th African TB Summit to the Green Chamber. I realize that a lot of them came after the initial introduction, so please, if you can stand up for our recognition of our members. Honorable colleagues, please appreciate their presence here. You're welcome. You may sit down, please. The 28th order of the day is a motion on the need to investigate the alleged mismanagement and misapplication of $232 million, equivalent to 350 billion naira loan for accelerating nutrition results in Nigeria ANRIN program, standing in the name of Honorable Chike John Okafor. Honorable Okafor is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, GCON. My name is Honorable Chike John Okafor, PhD. I represent the good people of Ehimen Bano, Ihitu Boma, Obo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Imo State. The need to investigate the alleged mismanagement and misapplication of $232 million, equivalent to 350 billion naira loan for accelerating nutrition results in Nigeria ANRIN program. The House notes the alleged mismanagement and misapplication of the sum of $232 million in the loan intervention ANRIN program in Nigeria. The House is aware that accelerating nutrition results in Nigeria ANRIN is a World Bank funded performance-based project that uses loans to address nutritional challenges in Nigeria and to provide improved nutrition for vulnerable communities by increasing access to quality, cost-effective nutrition services for pregnant and lactating women, adolescent girls, and children under 5 years of age in the following 12 states: Abia, Akwa Ibom, Gombe, Kaduna, Kano, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger, Oyo, and Plateau states from the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria. Also aware that the ANRIN program was entered into by the federal government in the year 2018 to achieve a balance between the urgent need to protect Nigerian children from the devastating and lifelong effects of malnutrition, with the expectation of improved nutritional interventions and outcomes before December 2024. Concerned that the programs so far have been alleged to be water everywhere, but no water to drink. A beautiful program for solving malnutrition challenges, but it has appeared to produce miraculous and obviously ineffective outcomes, taking cognizance of the reports and current indicators of Nigeria amidst such a huge and humongous loan from the World Bank. Worried that the recently released Nigeria Demographic Health Survey 2023 and 2024 indicated a worsening of nutrition specifics, with indices showing an increase in under 5 stunting and malnutrition, and the current realities raising questions about the $232 million spent for nutritional intervention and Nigeria's poor global ranking. Cognizant that an investigation will determine the extent of alleged mismanagement of funds in the hiring program, evaluate its impact, identify responsible parties, and propose accountability measures for future 50 million interventions that they are also going to assess. The House is hereby invited to resolve 1, to mandate the Committee on Nutrition and Food Security, the Committee on Finance, the Committee on AIDS, Loan and Debt Management to investigate the Aaron World Bank loan to ensure that special programs of nutrition values are not abused or mismanaged. 2, also mandate the Committees on Nutrition and Food Security and the other 2 committees mentioned, and the debt management to invite the Federal Ministry of Health, National Primary Health Care Development Agency, the World Bank, and the 12 beneficiary states and other relevant stakeholders involved to provide necessary documents and insights on the program for ease of investigation and report back to this House within 4 weeks for further legislative action. The Right Honourable Speaker, I so move.
Honorable Anka.
Thank you, able Speaker. My name is Honorable Isa Muhammad Anka, representing Anka Talata Mopara constituency. I'm from Zamfara State. I want to propose the inclusion of Committee on Judiciary, very, very important. That, apart from the 5 committees mentioned, I want to add Committee on Judiciary because it involves law. And thank you very much.
Committees are you recommending additionally?
Committee on Judiciary, sir.
Any seconder to this amendment? Any seconder? Honorable Jaha.
I'm Jaha Babao, Chibok Dambo Goza Federal Constituency. I rise to second a motion ably moved by my senior brother that Committee on Justice should be
Justice or Judiciary?
Judiciary should be part of the motion. I so second.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Those, did we take a seconder for the main motion? Honorable Rotimi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Akitune Rotimi Jr., I represent the people of Ekiti North 1 Federal Constituency comprising Ikole and Oyo local government. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion on this very important subject of food and nutrition. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Nutrition and Food Security, Finance, AIDS, Loans and Debt Management, and Judiciary for further legislative action. Professor Lillian, the House is recognizing your presence. You are most welcome. The 29th order of the day is a motion on the need to reform the Export Expansion Grant by Nigerian Export Promotion Council, standing in the name of Honorable Mukhtar Zakari Chawai. Honorable Chawai is hereby invited to move the motion.
Order, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Mukhtar Zakari Chawai. I represent Kauri Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. I rise to move a motion on the need to revamp the Export Expansion Grant by Nigerian Export Promotion Council. The House is aware that the EEG scheme, that's the Export Expansion Grant Scheme, administered by the Nigeria Export Promotion Council, aims to support active exporters, expanding their international trade through a post-shipment incentive by way of export grants.
Honorable Jimmy, can you sit properly, please?
To encourage non-oil exports. Also aware that such grants were used by eligible Nigerian companies as government promissory notes, tax credits, access to government bonds, etc., a viable intervention for trade businesses in the country. Concerned that over time, owing to poor funding by the federal government, a huge number of EEG claims were not provided for. A provisional measure was introduced for the settlement of outstanding EEG claims through the federal government promissory note program. This was deployed to settle the claims in 3 batches, 2007 to 2016, 2017 to 2020, and 2021 to date. Also concerned that the PNP program has resulted in a massive and expanding national debt, with many grants still outstanding, despite the 9th Assembly's intervention in ratifying the backlog of settlements. Worried that many businesses have closed as a result of the lack of significant plan to resolve the EEG claims of viable Nigerian companies, even as a temporary solution. The House resolves to urge the federal government and NEPC to immediately resume issuance of promissory notes to eligible beneficiaries from the 3 batches on record, namely 2007 to 2016, 2017 to 2020, and 2021 to 2024, and mandate the Committee on Commerce to look into revamping the settlement of all eligible beneficiaries and report within 4 weeks. I so move.
Works is working.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues.
Naseni will walk through for the information of the House.
Naseni is working, sir. My name is Honorable Architect Usman Murtala Banye, member representing people of Batagarawa, Cheren Chirimi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Katsina State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second a motion as moved by Honorable Chawai. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Commerce for further legislative action. The 30th order of the day is a motion on irregular disbursement of basic primary healthcare provision funds by a National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, standing in the name of Honorable Adeboyega Adeyemi Adefarati. Honorable Adefarati is hereby invited to move the motion. Is he on the floor? No? This motion is stepped down by the leave of the House. The 31st order of the day is a motion on a call for the revitalization of Swine Research Institute, Opuje in Suka, standing in the name of Honorable Chidi Mark Obeta. Honorable Obeta is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Mark Chidi Obeta. I'm the member representing Osuka Igbeze South Federal Constituency of Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move this motion, but before I go on, I want to make a correction, Mr. Speaker. So change the subject from revitalization of the Swine Research Institute of Opuje and Suka to revitalization of the Pig Progeny Testing and Multiplication Center Opuje and Suka, Mr. Speaker. With your leave, sir.
Rules, is it possible for him to change at this point? Or it has to come through a prayer or a rescission? Through a prayer. So read it as it is, and then we can do an amendment
Okay.
at the level of prayers, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I appreciate it. Revitalization of the Swine Research Institute, Okpuje, Nsukka. The House notes that the Swine Research Institute, Okpuje, Nsukka, was established in the early 1980s during the Shehu Shagari administration to help drive livestock revolution in Nigeria.
Yes.
Aware that pig farming is a lucrative industry characterized by high reproductive rates, efficient feed conversion, and a global demand for pork products. The House also aware that some of the largest pork producers in the world include 10 countries that dominate global production by utilizing traditional practices with modern technologies, using innovative new breeding techniques that improves quality of pork that meets both domestic and international standards. The House informed that from 2022 export records, the top exporters of pork were Spain with $5.92 billion, United States $5.38 billion, Germany with $3.8 billion, Canada $2.97 billion, and Denmark with $2.89 billion. The House also informed that Nigeria and Ghana consumed over $3 billion worth of pork produced annually, and 80% were imported. The House concerned that this 80% represents a huge demand gap in local production, thereby increasing global demand for processed pork products like sausages, hot dogs, ham, and bacon. The House worried that the Swine Research Institute, Okpuje, Nsukka, responsible for training local farmers and driving innovation in the livestock sector geared towards earning foreign exchange through exportation of processed pork products, is facing financial difficulties due to lack of funding. The House, cognizant that the revitalization of the Swine Research Institute, Okpuje, Nsukka, will help in training local pig farmers and earn the country foreign exchange through exportation of processed pork products, the House resolves to, 1, mandate the Committee on Livestock and Appropriations to liaise with the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria and the Federal Ministry of Livestock to provide funds in the 2025 budget estimate for the revitalization of the Swine Research Institute, Okpuje, Nsukka. 2, mandate the Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, thank you.
Any seconder? Honorable Maki.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, GCON, my honorable colleagues. I'm Abubakar Maki Eleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I stand to second the motion heavily moved by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Agricultural Production and Services and Committee on Appropriation for further legislative action. The 32nd order of the day is a motion on the need for the professional disposal of crude oil and associated materials recovered from oil thieves and operators of illegal refineries by the Operation Delta Safe Joint Task Force, standing in the name of Honorable Maria Enemite Abikake. Honorable Abikake is hereby invited to move the motion.
The Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, I remain Rep. Marie Enemete Ebikake, representing the wonderful peace-loving people of Brass Nembe Federal Constituency. I am from Bayelsa State. Mr. Speaker and dear colleagues, I rise to move the motion on the need for the professional disposal of crude oil and associated materials recovered from oil thieves and operators of illegal refineries by the Operation Delta Safe Joint Task Force. The House notes the alarming rise of crude oil theft and the operations of illegal refineries, predominantly in the Niger Delta region,
and the daily loss of billions of naira as a result of this obnoxious enterprise. The House also notes the news of the active participation of the very security personnel tasked with eradicating this economic sabotage. The House concerned that the standard practice of introducing seized crude to the environment and the unprofessional incineration of vessels and illegal refineries and seized crude oil cause further damage to a highly devastated ecosystem and has proved ineffective as deterrence to crude oil theft and the operation of illegal refineries. Worried that the combined effects of illegal refineries and oil theft and the unprofessional disposal of crude oil and allied materials by the joint task force are directly contributing to the rising levels of toxicity of the Niger Delta environment, which in the view of environmental and earth experts is the primary cause of further depletion of the mangrove vegetation, poor crop harvest, the destruction of aquatic and other marine lives, the rising cases of neonatal mortality, liver and lungs poisoning, breathing difficulties, kidney damage, skin ulcers from acid rains, increased blood pressure and muscles weakness. The House resolves to urge the federal government through the Ministry of Environment to hold environmental hostile practice for an eco-friendly and professional method of disposing crude oil and allied materials seized in the course of security operations. Also urge the security agent to include in the joint task force environmental experts to supervise the disposal of seized crude, which could as well be reabsorbed into the national oil stock to minimize the incidence of crude oil spills and curb further pollution of the Niger Delta environment. The House mandates the National Assembly to consider an amendment of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021 to mandate the oil companies to reserve a quota of employment opportunities for eligible indigenes of host communities, as this guarantee of economic security will expectedly make pipelines vandalism less attractive. The House also mandates the Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Regina.
Honorable Speaker, women-friendly Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Rep. Regina Kume, representing the good people of Bokotaka constituency. I'm from Benue State. I rise to second the motion moved by my sister. I so second. Thank you.
Amendment? Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. Agbedi Yeitimne Frederick is my name. I represent Sagbama Kerema Federal Constituency. It's Zonkame, I'm from Bayelsa State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to consider prayer 4 and to amend it to include the Committee on Environment, because the issues so canvassed here are environmental issues, and it will be important that the Committee on Environment works with legislative compliance to ensure that the appropriate actions are taken.
Our leader, I hope you have not been coerced into amending that, because I can see the
No,
one
sir.
sitting next to you.
Not at all, sir. I so move, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Thank you, sir.
Any seconder? For obvious reason. Honorable Pondi.
Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Julius Babazo Pondi. I represent British Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion, the amendment made by Honorable Fred and with my big brother. I say second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, sir.
Those in support of this motion, this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. We have already identified the seconder, right? We are just to put the question. Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the committees on legislative compliance and environment for further legislative action. The 33rd order of the day is consideration of two bills standing in the name of the House Leader. The House Leader is hereby advised to move for their consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Excellency, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, Abdullah Ibrahim Ali is my name. I represent the good people of Ankpa Federal Constituency. I'm from Kogi State. I rise to move that consideration of following reports. For the consideration of the following report, a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation Act 2023 to make the corporation more effective, ensure its independence and autonomy in line with Section 1, subsection 3 of the Principal Act to bring it in line with current realities and best practices for related matters, SB 277. I so moved. Number 34.
The minority leader, are you done?
I wanted to read the last one.
Please go ahead.
And a bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act Cap F8 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Education Technical Agoro, Bayelsa State, and for related matters HB 1612. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader, please can you second?
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Aliyu Sanima Daki is my name, and I represent the Alafero constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion that bills number 33 and 34 be considered. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, at this juncture, it's my pleasure and privilege to invite Lord Herbert from the House of Lords of United Kingdom, who incidentally is the chair of Global TB Caucus, to address us briefly. Honorable Lord Herbert, please can you proceed? You can use this microphone.
Do I stand?
You have been accorded the position of the chairman, rules and business.
Yeah.
So while you are addressing us, you should also recognize that you are the chair of the House Committee on Rules for at least 5 to 10 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, honourable members, it's a huge honour and privilege to be able to address you in your parliament and temporarily to be an elected member of parliament in Nigeria. I am now an unelected member of our upper house, the House of Lords, in the UK Parliament. So the idea of returning to elections fills me with trepidation. I stand here having the great honour of being the chair of the Global TB Caucus, an alliance of parliamentarians from around the world that was formed 10 years ago. We now number some 2,500 parliamentarians, and we have a network of parliamentary caucuses, including here in Nigeria, across the world's parliaments. Our mission is to end tuberculosis and to support the efforts globally to do so, to champion the work within each country and to work together as parliamentarians to beat this terrible disease. We salute the work that you are doing in Nigeria and the tremendous progress that you are making here. You are holding a summit this week, a high-level summit on the matter, and that is a sign of the great progress that you are making here. And we wish to do everything that we can to support you and to encourage parliamentarians to become members of the caucus. I'm honored to be joined by members here of our African Regional Caucus and my colleague, Stephen Mule, the Member of Parliament from Kenya, who co-founded the caucus with me. And if I may, Mr. Speaker, I would like to hand the microphone over to him as a chair of the African Regional TB Caucus. Thank you so much for doing me the great honor of allowing me to address you.
Thank you, Lord Herbert. Honorable Mutung Mule, please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Stephen Mule from Kenyan Parliament, the chair of TB Caucus Africa, and the co-founder of the TB Parliamentary Caucus globally with Nick Abbott. Honorable Speaker, I want to urge and congratulate the members of Parliament from Nigeria for the good job you are doing in your constituencies and the support you are giving the government to make sure that we eradicate tuberculosis globally. Members of Parliament from Nigeria, you need to understand this. Nigeria is ranked the leading country in Africa with the highest infections. But we have had good news today at State House with the First Lady of the country, whereby testing has moved from 36% to 80%. You are on the right trajectory and you need to applaud Nigeria. I want to urge the members of this House, Mr. Speaker, to come out and go to their constituencies and speak about tuberculosis because it's a deadly disease. I want to challenge you members. Tuberculosis does not have a border, does not have a bodyguard, does not have a religion, does not spare anyone. Mr. Speaker, all of us here, we are in danger of contracting tuberculosis because it's airborne transmitted disease. So members, I want to urge, and my colleagues from Africa, we are saying the highest burden of tuberculosis is within the African continent. It is our business as African to come with a solution to get out of this menace of tuberculosis within Africa. And I want to call for a political will and political leadership in Africa, and especially members of Parliament who represent the people, to make sure that you take lead in your constituency, to make sure that we speak about it, we encourage testing, and we support the government of the day to find resources. And domestic resources are critical on this one, Mr. Speaker. This is a house which allocates money to the Ministry of Health. Please, I want to ask the leader of majority and the leader of minority in this house, be one on the fight towards tuberculosis, because we as the members of Parliament, we are the most endangered species on earth towards tuberculosis. You know why, Mr. Speaker? Every weekend they are in the constituency. Every day they are speaking to their people. You don't know who is infected. And there is no room to safeguard yourself as a member of Parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, we want to thank you for hosting us as a caucus. And I want to urge the members who want to join us, once we leave here, we'll be having the 5th African Summit here in Nigeria for today and tomorrow. Come and join us and be part of the struggle which we must win before 2030 to eradicate tuberculosis from our communities and from the region. God bless Nigeria, God bless Africa, and the solution for this belongs to Africa and Africa is our business, and we are going to do the business African way. God bless you.
Thank you very much, our dear brother, Honorable Stephen. It may interest our delegations to know that The National Assembly has taken the issue of tuberculosis very seriously. For the past 8 years, it may interest you to know that we have a standing committee that is dedicated to oversighting all agencies that have to do with tuberculosis. And it's my pleasure to even introduce the chairman of the committee who is sitting right at the extreme. Chairman, tuberculosis, please, can you stand up for recognition? Araboga, he is our chairman, he is the one leading the committee's efforts towards tuberculosis. We thank you most sincerely for finding time to come, and want to assure you that the House and the Senate are very, very, very serious about eradicating tuberculosis in Nigeria. I will continue to partner with all relevant agencies in ensuring that the 2030 deadline is a reality. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you all. Leader of the House, can you move that the House resolve to the Committee of the Whole to consider some reports?
Distinguished honorable colleagues, Abdullah Ibrahim Halims is my name. I am from Ankpa Federal Constituency and I'm from Kogi State. I hereby move that the House move into Committee of the Whole for consideration of reports. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Aliyu Sanima Daki is my name, and I represent the Alafero constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion that the House do dissolve into Committee of the Whole to consider report number 33 and 34 on the order paper. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. House is hereby resolved into the Committee of the Whole.
Most distinguished colleagues, we have only 2 reports to consider, and I hope that we'll leave here by 2 o'clock. Let me also welcome the members of the Global TB Caucus. Let me announce the members that I'm a member of Global TB Caucus. As the Deputy Speaker, I've been a member of Global TB Caucus since 2019. So you people are welcome to join this caucus in the fight against this TB. Most distinguished colleagues, the first bill to be considered is for an act to amend the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation Act 2023 to make the corporation more effective, ensure its independence and autonomy, in line with Section 1, Subsection 3 of the Principal Act, to bring it to be in line with current realities and best practices and for related matters. I invite the Leader of the House to give us 1-minute synopsis of the bill.
Distinguished honorable colleagues, Abdullah Ibrahim Ali is my name. I'm from Ankpa Federal Constituency. I rise to call for consideration of a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation Act 2023 to make the corporation more effective, ensure its independence and autonomy, in line with Section 1, Subsection 3 of the Principal Act, to bring it in line with current realities and best practices and for related matters. This is Senate Bill and is for consideration. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chairman.
Honorable colleagues, we have clause 2 and 5 and the long title of the bill to look at on this one. Clause 2?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, clause 2, clause 2D. Mr. Chairman, where it says, one representative of the central bank who shall be the director of banking supervision in an event.
Where are you reading? Is it 7.1?
Yes, 7.1.2. 2D.
2B?
2D.
D, okay.
One representative of the Central Bank of Nigeria who shall be the director of banking supervision. In an event there is vacancy in that office, what do we do? In an event, hold on, sir, because there is the word shall. So I think we should make it flexible. Who is a director, or who shall be, or his representative below, not below the rank of a director. I think we should make it flexible. In an event there is vacancy, there is no director of banking supervision, then who would represent CBN?
There will always be director of banking supervision.
No, sir.
The work of the central bank is to supervise the commercial banks, and at all times there must be director of banking supervision that falls under the Deputy Governor of Operations.
Mr. Chairman, laws should be futuristic.
Laws should be?
Futuristic. They should not be...
No, futuristic doesn't mean that we... Futuristic does not mean it should not be definite.
Because of the word you put shall there.
Shall means must in law.
In an event, there is no director.
There's no event. There is an organigram. The organizational structure of the bank has it that at all times there must be the supervisory role played by the director of banking supervision, and this falls under the operations, the deputy governor of operations. So at all times, even if it's not there, the deputy steps into that office as the director of banking supervision.
Mr. Chairman.
It's a fundamental aspect of the CBN operations.
Well, I'm just making an observation.
Yeah.
Yes. It's an observation.
Still on this issue? Still on this issue? Okay. No, it's handle. He understands. He's a seasoned legislator. And when you clear him, you... So, clause 2? Clause 5?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, after clause 2, there's the subsection 3 where it says, 4, where it says the president shall appoint the chairman and other members of the board, and the appointment of members of the board referred to in subsection 2A, B, C, and F shall be subject to the confirmation of the Senate. I want to see how the Senate can confirm a permanent secretary to be a chairman of a board. Because here it says, the board shall consist the chairman who shall be the permanent secretary of Federal Ministry responsible for finance. I want to see how we can subject a civil.
Read it again.
Okay. In the composition of the board, the board shall consist. Sir.
I hope you know the column we are looking at.
Yes.
Are you looking at the first column or the second column?
Number 4.
Yes.
Who is the chairman of the board? According to the act, who is going to be the chairman of the board?
It's the president that will appoint.
Yes. Can be appointed by the president based on his recommendation by the Speaker. But here, the act says the board shall consist of the chairman.
Can you go to 5? Can you go to 5A, please? 5A. It is more described there. 5A. Okay. Overleave. Chairman, managing director, two executive directors shall be made by, that appointment shall be made by the President with the express recommendation of the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, this column where it says the composition of the board, where it says the board shall consist, A, the chairman who shall be the permanent secretary.
No. You are holding a different.
Am I?
You know, yesterday we say we always amend, we look at the right side, not the left side. Okay, 5 carried. The second bill to be considered is for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education and establish Federal College of Education Act Cap F8 Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provisions for establishment of Federal College of Education Technical, Agoro-Bayelsa State, and for related matters. And I invite the leader to give the synopsis of this bill. Leader, please, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, Abdullah Ibrahim Ali is my name. I'm from Kogi State. I stand to move that a bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act Cap F8 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Education Technical, Agoro, Bayelsa State, and for related matters, HB 1612.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, the clauses are 3. 1 to 3, not 1 to 4. It's not 1 to 4. Please correct it on your list if you have it. It's 1 to 3. And the explanatory memorandum and the long title of the bill. Clause 1 to 3. Explanatory memorandum, the long title of the bill. Please, leader, move that the House reverse the plenary to report progress from the Committee of the Whole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, distinguished honorable colleagues. Abdullah Ibrahim Ali is my name once again. I move that the House reverse the plenary for reports of our proceedings.
Thank you. Minority leader, please.
Mr. Chairman, my highly respected colleagues, Ali Usani Madaki is my name, and I represent the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion that the House do revert back to plenary to consider the report.
Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. House hereby reverts to plenary to report progress. Most distinguished colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the reports on the bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation Act 2023 to make the corporation more effective, ensure its independence and autonomy in line with Section 1, Subsection 3 of the Principal Act to bring it in line with current realities and best practices, and for related matters, and approve clauses 2 and 5 and the long title of the bill. Most distinguished colleagues, it is the Chairman's report that the House and Committee of the Whole consider the report on the bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act, Cap F8, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Education, Technical, Agoro-Bayelsa State, and for related matters, and approve clauses 1 to 3, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. Please, leader, move that the House do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as a working instrument of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, Abdullah Ibrahim Ali is my name. I rise that the House do adopt the report of the committee's report. Thank you.
Minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, I stand to second the motion that the House do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as a working document of the House.
Thank you. Those in support of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The House hereby adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as a working instrument of the Parliament. Please, leader, move that we suspend our rules and give the third reading to these bills. Suspend our rules for us to have the third reading of
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Abdullah Ibrahim Ali is my name. I move that the House suspend its relevant rule to allow for third reading of the bills.
Yes. Minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, I stand to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I do second.
Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, please give us the two long titles of the bills.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation Act 2023 to make the corporation more effective, ensure its independence and autonomy in line with Section 1, Subsection 3 of the Principal Act, to bring it in line with current realities and best practice and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act F8 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Education Technical Agoro, Bayelsa State and for related matters. Third reading.
The bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation Act 2023 to make the corporation more effective, ensure its independence and autonomy in line with Section 1, Section 3 of the Principal Act, to bring it in line with current realities and best practices and for related matters, read third time and passed. The bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act F8 Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provisions for establishment of Federal College of Education Technical Agoro, Bayelsa State, read, and for related matters, read third time and passed. Please, Leader, move that the House do adjourn, sitting till Tuesday, same time, same place.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Ali Ibrahim Halims is my name. I am from Kogi State. I rise that the House adjourn to Tuesday next week, same time, same venue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Please, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Ali Usanima Daki is my name, and I represent the Alapero constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion that we do adjourn to Tuesday, same time, same venue. I do second.
Motion move for adjournment, seconded by the Minority Leader. Those in support of this motion that they have to adjourn to Tuesday say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The House is hereby adjourned to Tuesday next week, same time, same place.